What's up, entrepreneurs? Welcome back to the Clean Biz Network podcast. This is the podcast for entrepreneurs that are interested in the janitorial / commercial cleaning industry. On today's episode, our host, Mr. AJ Simmons, the business consultant himself, is going to be talking about sacrifice and what is needed, what you're going to have to sacrifice if you want to see success in your business.
Welcome to the Clean Biz Network podcast, the only place where cleaning business owners and aspiring cleaning business owners come for education, motivation, and the resources that you need to take your life to the next level. Now for your host, Mr. AJ Simmons.
What's up, CBN family? AJ Simmons checking in for another podcast episode for you guys. So listen, I got a question for you. Would you quit your job in order to get a contract done? Now, some of y'all, probably the logical answer is, well, if that contract paid more than my job pays, right? That's the logical answer, right? And when I say get a contract done, I'm talking about an account or a customer, right? For your cleaning business. Would you quit? And so the reason why I asked this is because I interviewed a guy by the name of Davon Johnson. Shout out to him. Look for his interview on my YouTube channel. I just interviewed him. So I asked him one of my favorite questions that I like to ask during our interviews with our, success stories and stuff like that for CBN. I asked him, did he quit his job yet? And if so, how did he know when it was time to quit? Or if he still had his job, how does he manage, having a job and running a business? And so he surprised me actually, because I knew when I invited him on that he only had one contract so far. So I knew that part, but he surprised me when he told me that he quit already just after that one contract. And so when he told me that, it just reminded me of myself, because I remember when I had 3 contracts, and then on my 4th one, I got hit with this bigger one. It was $2,000 a month, and we had to be there 2 times a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. And I started off trying to systemize my thing from the ground up, and I tried to get people in there, but it was like every time I went to work, I always had to, I'll be right back. I gotta run to my, to my customer, or I'll be right back. Because I was telling my job what I was doing. They knew I was building a business on the side. But after a while, they don't want to hear that, right? It's like you ain't gonna keep leaving or not coming in altogether over this little business that you got going on. Because that's how they gonna feel your little cleaning thing you got going on, right? And so the day came where it was like, you know what? I talked to my wife and I said, listen, I'm about to quit. I'm gonna have to quit. I'm just gonna have to quit because I don't know how to get somebody in this contract without me having to being able to be there, because I couldn't train them because we had to be there during the day, so I didn't have time to train them or anything. And then when we first got the contract, it was like a spirit of the moment thing where it was just like, hey, can you start next week or whatever? And so I took a whole week off. Me and my wife went in there and did it together. And then during that week, I was interviewing people, hiring people, looking for people to hire, so that following week when I went back to work, somebody could be in there. And mind you, my wife also had a job at that time, so she had to take off. So we didn't really have a way to cover this thing. So after a while, I just said, you know what? Because they called me to the office one day, they was like, it's either going to be this job or your business. And I said, well, it's going to have to be my job then. I mean, my business then. It's only a matter of time. I said, really, to be honest with y'all, I was planning on the exit anyway. I was just trying to be patient till I got to a particular point. But it's definitely going to be my business. I'm sorry. And I'm going to tell y'all, I couldn't even talk. Like when they asked me and I had to open up my mouth to tell them that I choose my business, I was so embarrassed and ashamed, like in my head. Like I don't know if they could tell or not, but I was shaking in my boots, and I was like, I barely could open my mouth. I mumbled it. It'll be my business, right? Like I barely got it out. That's how nervous I was, because this was what they call a good government job, right? This was the apprenticeship program that I fought and wanted to be in for years before I got into it. This was the job that was going to have the thrift savings plan for retirement and all the government benefits and high hourly pay and stuff, right? The travel opportunities. And so I'm walking away from all of that to go build this cleaning thing, right? But you know what? So after that conversation, because I was in what they call the refueling section, where they deal with like nuclear stuff and all of that. So then they moved me out of that section to a section where I could have a little bit more peace, because they can't just fire you, luckily, with a government position. But eventually, maybe about a month later, I walked out. I just straight walked out anyway. I couldn't do it anymore. But the point I want to make is this. I walked out on my job. I said, forget it. And I purposely walked out. I could have easily put in a 2 weeks notice. I could have easily asked for a year, because when you work for the government, you can no call, no show for up to 364 days and they can't fire you. You got up to 364 days to come back. And I always kept it in the back of my head, but I knew I wasn't going back. And so that's why when I left, I didn't tell them I was leaving nothing. I wanted to burn that bridge like Napoleon Hill said in the book Think and Grow Rich. Because I didn't want to be able to have an outlet to retreat, so that way it will force me to make it work no matter what. And I walked out, and guess what? Here we are, hundreds of thousands of dollars later in a business, right? Here we are today. Now I'm a person who's about to hit the $1 million mark finally in his business, right? But I fought. You know what I mean? It took for me to fight so much. Then Davon, he walked out, turned around, got a $3,000 contract. You know what I mean? I can't wait for y'all to watch that interview, man. So just like, this is what I'm going to ask you again. If you get an opportunity to get an account, and it's going to be difficult for you to work that contract without leaving that job, would you be willing to do it? Now, there is no right or wrong answer to this question. It's just something for you to think about, because you not walking away from that job could be you delaying your reward. You know what I mean? That's supposed to come from your business. It could be you delaying the opportunity that your business is supposed to create for you, right? And it's like, sometimes you're going to have to do what you got to do in order to make the bills pay. Maybe you ride share on the side. Maybe you deliver for Uber Eats or something while you build your business during the day. And then, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or build your business and then go clean buildings in the evening, and then maybe do some ride sharing during the day while you passing out flyers, right? Or something. But you got to be willing to sacrifice and put it all on the line, okay? Get out of that comfort zone. Stop being so comfortable, you know, with them day jobs, man. And it's like, I don't want to job bash, right? Because we're going to create jobs. But at the end of the day, only a select few of us in this world are going to be successful entrepreneurs. It just is what it is. And if you are one of those, then you're going to have to act like it. You're going to have to walk the walk and talk the talk. You can't just talk about it, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Just because you got 50 different damn side hustles don't mean you're a serial entrepreneur. That means you got ADD. Right? Like, that means you need to focus, honestly, man. Because when you just pick that one business and go all in, I promise you, it will pay off for you, but you got to put your all into it. Everything in life is about what you put into it. Whatever you put into something, that's what you're going to get back out of it, all right? Or tenfold. But you got to put in that work first. Put all your eggs into this cleaning business basket. If you started one, this is what you do, then do it. Don't play with it, do it. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking to y'all that just want supplemental income. You just want supplemental income. Anybody that put just in front of anything, that's not who I'm talking to, right? You don't want to just do anything. Do it if you're going to do it. If you're going to build the business, then build the business as big as you can build it. Push it to the limit. Why? Because you're capable. Because you can. Because the people that you could create jobs for deserve for you to do it. You know what I mean? Because the world deserves for your service, because you can provide excellent service, unlike the competitors that you can take these accounts from, right? So go out there, live to your fullest potential, man. Be the best version of you that you can possibly be. But you can't do that if you're sitting around working on somebody else's dream. That job that you at, that's somebody else's dream, and they put you in a position to help continue to build their dream. I seen a meme the other day, somebody shared in the Clean Business Network group that said it was a guy and his boss rolled up on him inside of some type of fancy car, Lamborghini or something. And the guy told him, nice car. And then he said, yeah, and if you keep working hard and some and I'll probably get me another one next year. And so, like, when you reading it, you thinking he about to say, if you keep working hard, then maybe you'll get one day. But no, he said, maybe if you keep working hard, maybe I'll get one next year. Because that's how it is. You building that owner's wealth. So it ain't about time for you to start putting some systems in place to start building your wealth for you too, versus you always working building somebody else's wealth. It's time to do it. Make that jump. CleanBizNetwork.com. Get your cleaning business starter kit and make the jump. I'm making it easy for you. And I mean, when you look at all of the different interviews on my YouTube channel, I mean, even on this podcast too, we post them here too. I mean, interview after interview, testimonial after testimonial. 0 bad reviews almost out there on the internet about me. Only thing that you might see a bad review on is the app, because we did have some hiccups there. But it's never about like me and my coaching or anything like that. I make it as easy as possible for you. You know what I mean? I make it as easy as possible. I'm putting all of the tools in place. all of the resources in place for you to know how to bid, how to get customers, how to hire workers, anything, how to clean, whatever you think that you ain't sure about, that you don't think is going to be able to work for you, I put it in place for you to make sure that you can be successful. So take advantage of it, man. There's no excuse. Get out here and go get it. I'm AJ Simmons. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe, like, sharing, and comment is what I usually would say if this was a YouTube channel video, but it's actually the podcast. So thank y'all for listening. I'm AJ Simmons, Clean Biz Network, if you want to get that. Thank y'all.
Hey, entrepreneur. Now, you may be listening to today's podcast episode and you may be super pumped up and excited. And you may be asking yourself, how can I get my business started today? How can I get going today? Well, I'm here to tell you that cleaning business starter kits are available at cleanbiznetwork.com. AJ Simmons and the Clean Biz Network have designed these amazing starter kits for entrepreneurs like yourself to get all the knowledge, okay? All the tools, all the resources, all the coaching, all the access to other successful commercial cleaning business owners you need to get the motivation, the knowledge, the resources, and tools to launch your business today. Log on to cleanbiznetwork.com to get more information about the cleaning business starter kits.
Thank you for listening to the Clean Biz Network podcast. To start and or grow your cleaning company, visit cleanbiznetwork.com.